Hi, how are you? I hope you've had a great morning, great afternoon, and that you are doing well, feeling good, and that all of your happiness is coming true. I'm knocking things over here, but just want to make sure that we stay connected and support each other during these rough days. February 5th today, 2024. And we got news, as I expected, and I said in my previous video, King Charles has cancer. And I thought, because they were going to do something with the prostate, I thought it was prostate cancer. But they say it's not prostate cancer, it's something else. And they won't disclose what it is. Well, since he was complaining, according to the media, and the media has lied so much you can't believe anything they say, but if we go by the media, he was complaining of not being able to urinate properly. So that means it could be a problem with the kidney, the bowel, maybe colon cancer. Who knows? They may not have even found out exactly where the cancer is. They might have just diagnosed liver cancer, and they might be doing checking to find out exactly where the cancer is. But whatever, we do wish the best for King Charles. And even though he is in his mid-70s, we wish him great health, a long, much prolonged life, and everything to go well and happy for him. This is a picture of him coming out of the hospital when he went in for the so-called benign prostate problem, which was, of course, a lie, because prostate checks and like a biopsy or whatever, does not take 3 days. So we knew something else was wrong. I just want you to glance, though. Here he is coming out, and look at that coat. He has stuff in both pockets that's really straining that coat. And you just wonder, what in the world could King Charles possibly have to put in his coat to stretch that coat that much? Everything he has or had in the hospital should have been put in a tiny bag and carried out by one of his assistants. But he is carrying something which, leaves some questions. I thought he also had some sort of heart monitor, because he does have some outpouching in the left chest, which is difficult to see in this picture. So I was thinking he also had some kind of cardiac monitoring while he was in there, and maybe was taking it home for continued monitoring. But that's just a guess. So many things could be wrong with him, it's hard to even figure out, where to start. But he does have cancer. He did get out of the hospital, which means they might have even removed a cancerous lesion while he was in there and just haven't revealed it. Or they might still have it in him and not removed it. So since he is not going back immediately for surgery, and if it's been removed, that's okay. He can get chemotherapy and radiation. But if it's still in him, that's a bad sign. It means it's probably not curable, and he'll get palliative care, maybe some chemo and radiation. But does not sound good. So I want you to see also, notice how he's holding on to that car. Now, that's something you would not expect Charles to do. Leaving the hospital, he wants to show strength, and no one really touches their car as they walk around it unless they are feeling unsteady. And Charles, when he left, he was holding onto the car with each step. I think he only took 1 or 2 steps where he was not holding onto the car. I'm going to try to pull up a video here and see if I can show that. I missed it. Let me see if I can go back. Just watch when he comes out. You can't really see it. And he holds onto the door handle. And then he immediately hangs onto the door. Hangs onto the side of the door and goes in. So it shows he was feeling weak. He was not feeling strong. And he was hanging on to give a nice, steady, healthier look. And here he is. Now, normally, when we see King Charles, his cheeks are red. He has that ruddy look. And you can see how pale his cheeks are in this picture. This is supposed to be a picture taken either on the, let me see, 3rd or 4th, I guess, of February. And here he is with a little bit more color in his cheeks with Camilla, and they're walking around probably discussing his cancer, his prognosis, and so forth. So, you know, what will Camilla do? Camilla has been looking really happy during these last few days. She's been out. She's been asserting herself as queen. She's been the only person doing it, really. And she has been really thrilled. You could tell by the look on her face that she was real happy with being the queen. So what's she going to do in the coming days? We don't know. How is she going to end out her term? Now, they always say that Charles doesn't smoke, so they try to eliminate lung cancer. But Camilla is supposed to be a heavy smoker, and both of them drink regularly. So both of those are things that can cause cancer or make your cancer worse. So secondhand smoke, if Charles does not smoke, I don't know if he smokes a pipe, but I think I've seen Charles smoke a pipe. But either way, secondhand smoke affects other people, and that's just a good thing to remember. So if Charles is not a smoker and he is getting his lungs filled with secondhand smoke, that can also be detrimental to your health and be something that can cause cancer. Camilla has been noted to have shaky hands, and I think she was doing some recent engagements and people were noticing that her hands were shaking. Now that can be from her heavy alcohol intake, or she might have some kind of health problem going on with her. And then Charles, of course, was known for his puffy hands, which were seen during his coronation, and they really haven't given a reason for that. It could be some type of arthritis. It could be from other things. So, I mean, this couple has certainly a lot of hints that something is going on physically with both of them. So next up in line would be William, the son, the oldest son, and he should be brought in immediately to learn the ropes of what's going on, what would be required as king. It'd be less stress on him and his family if he could learn more slowly what would be expected of him uh, whenever he becomes king. He is still in isolation after his wife, Catherine, went into the hospital for vague abdominal surgery, was not seen going into the hospital, was not seen coming out of the hospital, was not seen in the car as she left the hospital, was secretly transferred to Adelaide Cottage, which is supposed to be unbearably cold, and she is kind of in isolation in Adelaide getting some sort of care. There have been all kinds of speculations as to what's going on with her, and we really don't know. We don't know if she's alive. We don't know if she's healthy. We don't know if she's already recovered or if she will be recovering. It's all a question. So he's been doing some things with his kids, mainly staying isolated. I think he kind of knew that his father had cancer, and I think that was also part of what was going on with him during all of this confusion about these 2 hospitalizations of the king and his wife Kate. So Harry and Meghan are going to be coming back. It's already been rumored that their house is up for sale in Montecito, and Harry, I think, is coming back to England by himself to be with his father, to discuss his health, for compassion and care, and I think that's a wonderful thing to do. I think Meghan probably should stay in California until all of these secrets have been resolved. And as I said, for Kate, we really don't know what's going on with Kate. She is in Adelaide Cottage, the unbearably cold cottage. Her main aide is living in an outhouse behind the cottage, which has been converted to a living quarters for her. And she sees her kids, I believe, but that's not confirmed. But she is actually living there, as far as I know, by herself. So her mother and father looked very sad when they took pictures of them the other day. And so we are concerned about Kate's health, and we certainly hope that she is doing well and that there are no secrets. So Charles's reign has been full of secrets. We have the secret of that secret son, Simon Day, who is in Australia, as to whether or not he is the son of Charles and Camilla. We have the secret children of Charles and Camilla, including Charles's wife's Camilla's children, who I allege were Charles's children. Camilla never wanted children by Parker Bowles. So I allege those children are Charles's children, and she invited to the coronation, by the way, 20 members of her family, and only about 5, I'm told, only about 5 members of Diana's family line to the coronation of King Charles. So many mysteries, so many secrets. But again, we wish Charles the best. We'll see what's going on with him. And as I predicted in my last video, it is cancer. They finally had to reveal it. which makes me think that he probably has a rapidly growing cancer and might have as short as, like 3 months. But we don't know what the kind of cancer it is, and so we have to put all that aside. And there's so many places that the cancer can be from that it's not even worth guessing at this point. Although if it was related to his not being able to urinate, you would probably guess something like kidneys or colon cancer or bladder cancer. But again, we'll just hold off and see if they tell us anything. And take care. We pray for the king, we pray for the queen, we pray for the king and queen in waiting, we pray for Harry and Meghan and all the children. We pray for Anne, we pray for Edward. We pray for Sarah Ferguson, of course, with her melanoma. That's another thing. And for her children, Beatrice and Eugenie. Very, very sick group. Very, very sick group. So, take care. Lots of love. I hope you're feeling well. I hope your family is healthy. And remember, the most important thing in life is relationships. That's where the memories come. You're going to tell your kids about their father, their grandfather, and all the relatives for generations to come. Signing another piece of paper really is not important. None of these papers in that red box are that important. And I feel very sorry when I found out that the Queen was signing papers from that red box up and including on the day she died, and yet she did not have time to speak to Harry before she died. And that has been causing all this controversy. Harry wanted to see her, there wasn't time, but yet they made time for her to sign papers from the red box. I think that was cruel, inhumane, and had I been dying and someone gave me a box of papers to sign, I would have thrown them on the floor and said, bring in the family, bring in the kids. I want to talk to all of them. I want to give my blessing to all of them. That's how I would have ended my life. I wouldn't have ended my life signing more papers from the red box. And I hope these people keep their priorities straight, get their priorities straight. Those people who are administrators do not have the best interest of this family. They have to take the reins themselves, and they have to make sure that they make those family connections, that love that's needed